do is just take a piece of construction paper and we're gonna figure out how big we want our roof to be. So I'm just gonna put it on the top. Some people like it to hang off the sides a little bit. So if you wanna do that, you can just mark it a little bit further than it would actually be. So I put one marking right here, and I'll do the other one a little bit off as well. So Sam, if you want to change this, you can. Okay. And then we want to decide if we want it a little bit off the front or not. So it could be just right on the triangle, or it could be a little bit off. And what would you prefer?
Just how you have it.
A little bit off? Okay. So I'm going to do another marking on the other side so I know where to cut it. So I will need a ruler for this. So I have all my markings and I'll know exactly how to cut it. So now I'll take my ruler and I'll just make a straight line. And then I'll cut that out and use it as a template just like normal. And the difference with the roof is that we're actually going to use the really thin slab sticks, just because if we use the medium one, it tends to look a little bit awkward. So we are going to use the thin one, but that just means we have to be extra careful with those pieces that hang off because they will be very fragile since they are so thin. And then what we want to do for the roof, and this is required, is add texture. So I have a bunch of different texture tools that we can use, and you can decide what type of roof texture you want to do. I might even look up on your iPad a couple different examples of shingles and different roof textures that you may see, and you can see if you want to recreate one. But I have this little container of all these really weird texture pieces you can use. So these little rollers you can roll on the clay, or even this little piece of coral, which makes an interesting texture. So any of that you want to use is fine. So we'll go ahead and cut out our roof. We'll have to be a little bit slower than usual just because we're not using an actual template piece. We're using just a piece of construction paper. Oops, I don't know why I did that. And okay, and now we can decide which texture tool we want to use. So maybe you have a reference image and you can kind of recreate it with one of these tools, or you can just go for one that you like. So you can do a combination of multiple tools. So like this one with the lines, and you can also add one of these to add even more texture. Maybe if you want to do that only on the sides. And the texture will get a little less intense as we curve this piece of clay, so we can add even more to it once it's on. So now you're just going to score and slip like usual, and I would try to smooth out just these outer edges as best as you can. And like I said, this will start to change a little bit as you fold the roof over top. So you can go ahead and go back with the texture tools and add even more. Or I kind of like how it is like this, and you can just go ahead and attach it. That's it.